So it's been a while since I did a video. I've been trying to get this sucker done, and a couple times I forgot my camera and all that stuff. So, and I've been kind of in a hurry, just trying to get this thing running. So I figured I'd just give a quick update on what I got done. Last time I didn't have a lot of this in here, so I'll kind of show you what I've done. So last time I think I was getting ready to put my brackets on. I had them painted up the original brackets. Well, come to find out, I get to looking at everything up here, and one of them won't go because I have stainless. I have my headers here, and it fits over the old manifold and bolts in with the header bolts. So or manifold bolt. So I couldn't use it. I could have modified that, cut it, and modified it, but then I would have had to modify another bracket. Anyway, basically I would have had to modify every single bracket. So I was like, well, forget that, because I saw Allen Grove makes a bracket for. I could have used my other ones, like my original alternator one, and just got different from my power steering, or maybe it was AC compressor, one of them. And I could have just painted it up and put it on here and used my other original brackets. But then I just happened to see this. ICT makes this kit. I think you can see, maybe not, but right there it says on the front, it says ICT. There's a whole bracket kit for the same price as the one Allen Grove. It's aluminum. I don't have to paint it, do anything, and it was the same price, and it's all of them. So I said, shoot, I'll do that. So I bought it. I think it was like $164. Anyway, and got me the sanding air compressor, which is supposed to be better anyway than the other one, and it looks cleaner. So it's on this side, so I can run my hoses here instead of having to run all the way across the radiator shroud to the old compressor and all that stuff. And then it just moves the alternator over here. And then the brackets that come with it for the power steering pump, all, pretty much just single by itself. And my other issue was my power steering pump. The way the bracket mounted onto the power steering pump had it needed the reservoir with the 2 bolt holes in it. Well, the one I had only had the 1 bolt hole. It needed the bottom one. So I had one my buddy gave me, but the barb where the hose goes on there, I can see it. But the barb where the hose goes on there was up in the center. Of course, it looks like I might have had enough room, but I didn't think I was going to. It'd be a tight squeeze. So I just ordered another one. It's what brand was that? Yeah, Tough Stuff. Tough Stuff brand. I've never tried it, but it looked pretty good. I figured I'd try it. They had one. They had a bunch of different Chevy ones, and they had a universal one, which was basically the same. So I just got it. And the hose, where the hose bar comes out, is right and everything. But then I ran into, here's the other problem. I should have got, I guess, the year specific, but I got that one. So where the power steering pressure hose goes in the back, that side was a flared fitting like the old 1976 or whatever earlier ones. Well, this one, my old one, and what goes into the gearbox was like an O-ring fitting on the end. So instead of trying to send it back and get all that done, or like get another one in that works right, I went to my local Napa over here and got them to fit me up a hose. They ordered me a hose that was for this power steering pump, and cut this, the one that was in my gearbox, off at the end of the middle of the hardline part, crimped a fitting on there so I could screw them together and tighten it down. Let's see. Yeah. So the back side that goes in the pump is the flared fitting, like what goes in there, and then this one is my original that has the O-ring fitting. Well, so far it's good to go. Got it all in there on the brackets. I'm just concerned, like I could squeeze the O-ring in there, like where it butts together. Kind of like a trying to think. With the hose pipe, there's a little gasket, the rubber gasket goes in the hose pipe, and you screw it down. It's kind of like, you can do it kind of like that, but it's the O-ring that come off the other one. I thought about that because it's just 2 flat pieces of metal that just butt together. I figured I'd try it without that first. I just tighten it up, and if it don't leak, then we're good. And if it leaks, I might end up putting the O-ring in there kind of around so it'll squeeze and sandwich the O-ring down, and it'll be less, shouldn't leak. But hopefully it doesn't leak like this. I got it tightened down pretty good. I didn't put any thread seal or anything on it. So hopefully it'll just work like that, and I won't have to worry about it. But if not, then I'll just, go from there. You know how it is working on old trucks and stuff. And then the other issue, but I got that work. So the other issue I ran into, this is my old one was a press-on pulley. So I had ordered one that was just for this one, which is it's a 5/8 keyway, the keyway pulley. It's aluminum. It looked really good. Well, get it on there and go to trying to get belts and stuff, and the belt was hitting it because it was kind of rounded out here, and the belt was hitting on it. So right here, the belt was rubbing on it. So I had to send it back and order one that was just like my other one, but with a keyway. So that's what I did. Got it bolted on, and my belt's cleared. So then, like I said, figuring out all the belts, that was kind of a pain. I tried a bunch of different ones. Finally got some that worked, and then all the rest of them I didn't use. I took back to my auto parts store. Box fell. So I got that on there, got all my belts on, got them tightened down and adjusted. And one thing I also like about these brackets, the ICT brackets, is the adjusters right here. So you just turn it with a wrench. Like the power steering one still has, you pull it out in the slot. I don't know if I can get it where you can see. Maybe not. Yeah, right there, kind of. You just got the slot in it, and then you tighten the bolt down where you want the slag. So that one's pretty much the same as all the old stock ones, but then these have these adjusters here that I like a lot better, and you just tighten the two nuts down on each side, and it's good to go. Right here, this one was machined to where that could go down in there, but this side wasn't. So I had to take I think a burr bit or whatever goes on like the end of a pencil grinder, end grinder, whatever you want to call it, and take a little bit of metal off right here on this corner where this ear goes down. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, where that ear goes down, so I could get a shorter belt to go on there. That way I'd have enough adjustment to tighten it up, because if I used a longer belt I wouldn't have enough adjustment. And then the belt, one I had for this one already that I measured for, it was good straight to start off with. So yeah, got my clutch fan on. These draw less horsepower. Some people used to put the flex fans, but if you watch, I think it's Engine Masters or something, they do a dyno test which fans draw more parasitic to the horsepower. Clutch fans draw less power, and that's what I already had, so that went on there. I always like these kind of radiator hoses, so I stuck this. Well, let me go over the radio first. Radiator, I had an aluminum one I ordered, and the way I would have had to do too much modifying to the brackets, which I didn't want to do. Actually, I started to, but I was like, I really don't want to do that, so I just went and got the stock style plastic one, which all the new cars nowadays anyway have the plastic tanks. So they last a pretty good while. They just where the hot water goes in tends to crack quicker. That's how it ends up leaking. But they usually last a long time. So, and I got a 180-degree thermostat, so maybe the water keep it fairly cool. So I just went with this, and of course, gotta have that bling, man. That Chevy radiator cap is a 16-pound radiator cap, and then you get it where you want it, and then you just fit that on there. But I thought that was a nice touch, so I went with that radiator. Don't look too bad. All that, the core's aluminum, it's just the tanks ain't aluminum. Wish the other one would have worked, but anyway, it's all right. And my trans lines, my dad got down here with me, helped me run back through, get it all run up in here and tighten down. I was going to paint these, but they looked, they're still pretty good looking, wasn't much rust or anything, so I just left them like they were. I had a regular rubber hose on there, and I went and got a new rubber hose because the other one was kind of shot. She probably would have held, but I didn't want to take it off later. So what I ended up doing, getting a new one. Well, when I got my new one on there, up here on the pump, this belt rubbed it because the way it was bent, and I could push it back, but I had to zip tie it back here to get it not to lay on. I was like, I don't want to do all that, so I just went and ordered another one of these Same ones like I used up here. Bend it around the way I want it to. You can get it bent the way you want it to, and then put it right into the radiator. So that works good. I really like these. This was the Summit brand, I think. That one was Spectra brand, which I like the Summit one a little better. They already had the bands in there for you, and the rubber adapters that come with it for whatever end you're using. But it wasn't too much more. I just put the bands in there and the end, put the adapters I need in there. It really did about the same, just a little bit of time difference. That's all I did since the last video. So today, my shroud, I had my old shroud I was going to use, and I ended up, it had a bad crack, so I ended up like drilling some holes here and there, and it looks like stitches. But anyway, stitching it up. I was going to use it, and then I got on the top one, and the bracket right here is broke. Let's see if you can see that. See the bracket right there where the nut goes, bolt goes through, is broke off. It really doesn't even hold it. So I said, screw it, I got to get another one. But instead of just getting half one, have a new half. They was cheap enough. I just got both top and bottom, which is right there in that box. So anyway, today that's going to go on the bottom one.